Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a question that I bet you've thought about, especially if you've ever been to the beach. Why on earth is the ocean so salty? This explainer is brought to you by the wonderful Neelam Talreja from Mindseed Tutorials, who has a real knack for making these big topics super easy to get your head around.
Yeah, if you've ever been knocked over by a wave and gotten a mouthful of seawater, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's so salty. But where does it all come from? Well, the story behind it is actually a pretty cool journey through our planet's history and its amazing water cycle.
So first, before we even get to the salt, we have to talk about the sheer scale of the ocean. I mean, it covers a whopping 70% of our planet's surface. Just try to picture that for a second. That is a gigantic amount of water.
And in all that water, about 3.5% of it is salt. Now, I know what you're thinking. 3.5%, that doesn't sound like a lot, but check this out. If you could take all that salt out of the ocean and spread it over all the land on Earth, it would create a layer more than 500 feet thick. That's as tall as a 40-story skyscraper. Crazy, right?
So the big question is, where did all this salt come from? It's not like it just magically appeared one day. Nope, it's actually a two-part story that's been going on for billions of years. Let's break down the first source.
All right, our story actually begins right here, on the land we live on. This is the first major source of the ocean's salt, and it all starts with something as simple as a single drop of rain.
You see, as rain falls through the air, it picks up a tiny bit of carbon dioxide, which makes the rain slightly acidic. Don't worry, it's not enough to hurt you, but over millions and millions of years, this slightly acidic rain wears down rocks. As the rocks break down, they release minerals and salts. Then rivers and streams act like a giant conveyor belt, washing all those dissolved bits and pieces on a one-way trip straight to the ocean. But the rain and rivers on land? That's only half the story. For the second source, we've got to go deep, deep down to these really powerful fiery vents on the actual ocean floor. Okay, so picture this. Seawater seeps down into these huge cracks in the seafloor. Down there, it gets heated up to extreme temperatures by magma from inside the Earth. This super hot water is great at dissolving minerals right out of the rock, things like iron and zinc. Then, this hot, mineral-packed water shoots back up into the ocean through what we call hydrothermal vents, adding this whole other mix of stuff into the seawater. So, after all that, what exactly is this salt that's coming from both the land and the seafloor? Well, while there are a bunch of different minerals in there, two of them are the main event: chloride and sodium. They make up about 85% of everything dissolved in the ocean. And when they get together, they make sodium chloride. You know it as table salt, the very same stuff you sprinkle on your food. Okay, so this brings up a really good question. You might be thinking, wait a second, if rivers are constantly carrying salt to the ocean, why aren't the rivers and lakes salty too? It feels like a bit of a puzzle, but the answer is actually pretty simple. It all comes down to one thing: flow. Think of rivers as highways for water. The water is always moving, so the salt just passes through. It never has a chance to build up. But the ocean, well, the ocean is the end of the line. It's the final destination with no exit. So for billions of years, as water evaporates from the surface to make clouds, all that salt gets left behind, getting more and more concentrated over time. So we've established the ocean is salty. But the real question is, so what? Why does it even matter? As it turns out, the ocean's saltiness isn't just a fun fact. It is absolutely crucial for life on this planet. And this is the big takeaway. The salt in the ocean creates the perfect home for countless marine animals and plants, from the tiniest plankton to the biggest whales. It also helps drive the huge ocean currents that move heat all around the globe, which basically controls our weather and climate. So in short, the ocean's salt is a key ingredient that makes our planet livable.
Thanks so much for watching. I really hope this helped clear up the mystery of our salty oceans. If you're curious and want to learn more about this or any other topic, you can always get in touch with Neelam Talreja at Mindseed Tutorials. She's a fantastic resource for more educational insights.